Hello, everybody. This is Maniac for Bricks. And I totally didn't have to get ready, but the light's just enough ready. And I'm here today to say that I am a weenie. I put the weenie in Halloweenie. Yeah, that totally worked. JB Brick Fanatic, nice to see you here. We've got a Zippy the Pinhead as well in the comments. So, I'm here to briefly talk about Halloween and horror themed movies. Um, what I have seen, do any of them count? Am I just a big chicken? Probably. And I'm trying to go over these because I want to prepare for this month. I've been putting off for over 3 years at this point, trying to do a marathon of Halloween themed movies, TV shows, specials, whatever it may be. Tree of Horror, nice to see you here as well. I've been putting this off for 3 years of trying to get into a marathon throughout the whole month of October, and trying to, make it more than just Halloween itself. I'm not saying that I have to have every movie scare me so that I can not, keep myself from going to sleep. I can do that enough on my own without movies, but I'm just gonna go over, and you guys can leave recommendations in the comments below, and I may go upon them at some time later. I will upload this to YouTube as far as this live stream itself, and I'm also thinking, when I go over these, I'll just give my brief thoughts and reactions after watching those movies. Brick Blaze, nice to see you here. I know you know some. So, like I said, I put the weenie in Halloweenie. Here's what I've got. So, anything that's horror themed, suspense, anything similar to those themes, or is based around Halloween. So, I'd say the first thing I gotta touch upon is It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. That's a classic. That is traditional. It's fun for anyone, any age. I watch that every year. And I've definitely been, when I went to the Big E last weekend, I think I said that to Kevin and Brian, because there were pumpkin judging contests, and they were huge. They were thousands. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding you. There were thousands of pounds of pumpkin. Like, here. I have a yoga ball. They were as big as the yoga ball, if not bigger. And they were hefty. Like, I didn't pick up any of them, but I was like, I don't think I want to. So, just move that back over there. So, Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, classic film, or special, whatever you want to call it. I see it just the same way that I would see the Christmas Christmas special for Charlie Brown every year for that holiday. Always fun. Know most of the lines. I was Charlie Brown one year for Halloween, and I actually had the line, "I got a rock," on the back of my shirt, which was cool. Christine, that's one I've definitely known from the Stephen King films that I have seen, and I thought that was enjoyable. I know Robbie Blocks made a Lego version of the car. I connected with that immediately when I first saw it. First ever saw the mock for it. It was a fun film. Trick or Treat is a good anthology movie. I think I've heard of that one. That's newer, right? I think so. I don't know if the Abbott and Costello Universal monster movies count, because that's a lot more comedy than is horror. But Universal monster movies are like your classic versions of the werewolf or the Wolfman. Frankenstein's monster, Dracula, vampire, whatever you want to call them. Abbott and Costello had several movies that were based around that. I think one that actually had all three of those monsters in the same movie. And then another one that may have been one or two of them. I forget exactly. I've seen all of them, or almost every Abbott and Costello movie. Can't remember the littler details like that. There was also Meet the Killer, which I kind of would count. Like, if the Universal movie counted, then I would count Meet the Killer, because it's like it has horror elements, but it's played up for laughs. Brick Rookie, nice to see you here as well. There's also Young Frankenstein. I count that one newish, somewhere between 5 and 10 years. Yeah, I count that as new. There's also Young Frankenstein, another one that's based on horror themes, based on classic monsters, but is played up for laughs. I've watched that one more than 10 times ever, probably more than 15 times ever. I don't watch it just for Halloween. I watch it like year round or quote it year round. It's a great movie. Freddy vs. Jason is a classic. All right. You know, I gotta start writing these down. Benji Yeet, how's it going? I also had up here a list of most popular or of all time of horror movies. Not really knocking a lot of them off the list. I mean, I probably can, but I just haven't already. Trying to remember, there was another one from Stephen King that I think I've seen. I can't remember the name of it though, but it was like a one-word title. It was a movie where there is this famous author, and then there's a fan that really wants to like meet the author and be involved with him. Basically, is able to trap him in her house and rewrites the book that he was working on, something like that. All right, Big Blaze, I'm gonna have to really have to write these down. The Shining, I probably have seen the entire movie. I've just never sat down and watched it from start to finish. I've always caught it on TV at various moments, and I think I always miss like the beginning parts of the movie because I know like the second half of it pretty well. Misery, thank you. That's the one I was forgetting. Yep, The Shining. I mentioned that. For Friday the 13th, the original one, I know parts of it. I've only seen parts of the movie or like still frames of it, so I don't think that really counts. But the only reason I do know that movie, somewhat watching it, is because I used to go to the camp where that movie was taking place or was actually filmed at. It is a camp in New Jersey. It is a Boy Scout camp that's been running for about 100 years at this point. I'm kid you not. And it's really, really cool. I probably would appreciate it more in the movie context of it rather than just the camping context once I see Friday the 13th. But I have been in the cabins that they filmed in the movie. I've been to the lake, the mess hall, and everything like that. They did renovate a lot of the cabins a couple of years back, but I have actually seen it. Scream? I don't think I've seen that. Or The Ring. The first Saw, I know that I've seen maybe a scene or two out of one of the Saw movies. I don't remember which one it was. May have been the first. But it's hard for me to count them. So, yeah. Clearly, guys, I'm a chicken. Why can't I pull up Word? It 2017. I saw that one. I haven't seen the Tim Curry version from like the 80s, 90s, whatever it was. But I have seen It Chapter 1. And I do want to see It Chapter 2. The funny thing is, I saw It Chapter 1, Angry Dragon, nice to see you here, and M Lego 17, how's it going? Might this be late night, Joey? You bet it is. It's practically midnight. So, It Chapter 1 I saw on TV over the summer last year, I think. And I would like to see It Chapter 2. It might actually be the first horror movie I've seen in the theaters. Because that, watch the new and... Oh, okay. I don't know if I'm going to get the horror out of the old one. Because from what little bits I know, it seems like it's going to be played more for campy laugh. You know, compared to the new one. What was I going to say? So, I don't think I've really seen a horror movie in the theaters ever. I don't think The Meg counts, right? Like, does Jaws count as a horror movie? And therefore other shark movies count? And then Meg would count? The Meg, I should say. Because The Meg seems like it's trying to be Jaws, but in a different way. And it doesn't feel much like horror the way that I remember Jaws. I've only seen parts of Jaws. It's not scary, but still worth a watch. Yeah, okay, there you go. That was for It, I believe. The Meg, it felt more like an action movie with horror as part of it, you know, not necessarily the premise of the movie. Like, there were definitely some good shots with it, but I don't know if that really counts. And I'm not saying every shark movie is horror. I know the Sharknado movies. They are not horror movies. They are not intended to be. Finally, we got Word up. So now I'm going to have to scroll back through before the end of the stream and get all Brick Blaze's comments and recommendations. I think I mentioned The Shining. Yeah, I did. Halloween, I haven't seen the original one, although I have been told Halloween 1, Halloween 2, and H2O are good. I've been told the Evil Dead series is good, like in general. The first one, the second one, and I think the TV show is good. I don't know. I remember that when it came out, but I knew nothing about it to be invested in it. I wouldn't count The Meg as a horror movie, more of a monster action. Yeah, there we go. That also kind of makes me wonder about the Godzilla movies. Like, does any one of them count as horror, or are they all monster action? Because maybe the first one does. Like, the original King Kong. I don't know if that counts either. Or any of the King Kongs. Ash vs. Evil Dead is good. Evil Dead is amazing. Alright, good to know. Wish the Meg was rated R so we could have seen more blood. Yeah, it always felt like it was just close, but not fully going through it. Or at least it only did it like a handful of times. It didn't feel, Cloverfield. Okay, I think I've heard of that by name, but I don't know much about it. Alien I count as a horror movie. I haven't watched it, but from what I've heard about it, it sounds like it's like a sci-fi horror. With Godzilla, getting back on that, I think that I've only seen one of the Godzilla movies, one of the more modern ones. I think it was 2012 or something like that. And I don't remember much about it. And I don't think it counts as a horror movie because of that. Have I seen the Final Destination movies? I've seen parts of them. I've definitely seen the death scenes on their own without the entire movie. And I know the premise of it. But I don't think I've sat down and watched one all the way through. So I do enjoy the conversations here, at least trying to get into some of these. There's one that I've heard of, and I don't know if it's a high recommendation from anyone, but it's one that's like weirdly interesting to me. It's called House. It's a Japanese horror film. There's several House horror films, but it's a Japanese one, and usually when you look it up online, it has a picture of a big orange cat or something with it. That one, I've heard, is a very surreal, not always horror experience, but like it plays with your mind. So I'm like, that might be interesting. All right, no problem, Jason. I know, I'm just thinking Jason like Jason Voorhees now. So, have a good night, Brick Blaze. Isn't that a doctor show? Yes, there was a doctor show called House. But this one's just a movie, from what I've heard. I can't think of that many classic ones. Night of Living Dead. There we go. That's one of the oldest ones that I can think of. For horror, for that kind of genre. One of the first movies to feature zombies in it. So I thought that was pretty cool how it was handled. Like it didn't have to be as gory, but it still had the impression there. House was made in the U.S. but in the 80s. Okay, good to know. Yeah, I think it was like a 70 something. I don't know. I'll look into it. Maybe I'll watch all the House horror movies. I don't know. But what was I saying? I forgot where I was. Night of Living Dead. There we go. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and now I'm really going to bed. Okay, gotcha. I have seen the DVD of Killer Clowns in stores, so I may have to look into that one. What was the other one? Yeah, don't worry about this, Brick Blaze. I'm gonna have this up on YouTube, so you can catch up with the other ones, or I may throw it in the comments or something of what else I've seen. I'll take recommendations all month long, basically. I don't know how frequently I'm gonna do these, or watching them. UHF is a great movie. I need to watch that again. I watched that years ago. It was a lot of fun. UHF was great. I wouldn't count it as a horror movie. It is a comedy, for sure. But I totally got it right away. There was one movie, I can't remember the name of it. It was an older movie from the 30s, 40s-ish. it had Vincent Price, and it was like several people came to a house because I think someone passed away and they were going to split the inheritance or something. And it had this premise of it's free with ads. Oh, nice. I think that might have been where I saw it. I might have seen it on YouTube. I'm not sure. So they had a house that someone died. They split the inheritance between these several people, and if they could last a certain amount of time, then they would get their inheritance. But there were also betrayals where some people wanted to kill off each other. I don't know if that one counts as a horror film. I remember watching it around Halloween, either a year or two ago. Maybe 2 years ago. Night of the Living Dead was around 2 years ago too. So, but I can't remember the name of the movie. I just remembered that Vincent Price was the lead actor in it. I don't think it's House on Haunted Hill, is it? Let me see. What's the premise here? Yes, okay, that is what it was called. Invited 5 people to a house for a haunted house party. Whoever stays in the house for one night will earn $10,000. As the night progresses, the guests are trapped within the house with an assortment of terrors. Yes, that makes sense. Because I remember there being some supernatural elements to it, especially in the second half of the movie. But I couldn't remember all the points of it. Monster House, I know that it exists, but I have not seen that. I may have seen like a clip or two from a lot of movies, and I don't count that as seeing the whole thing. Huh. I haven't seen Nightmare on Elm Street or any of the Freddy vs. Jason stuff, Alien vs. Predator. Haven't seen those. Let alone seen the movies that they were based on. What else was in here? Psycho? I have to see Psycho. Classic one. Alfred Hitchcock in general, I should just see those because I've always heard good things about them. I don't remember if I've seen... I know I've seen parts of the TV show with Alfred Hitchcock, but I don't remember much beyond that. I know that I've seen The Twilight Zone. Not the entire series, but several episodes of it in various orders, various times. I can't remember all the names of the episodes right now, or the premises of them. So I don't know how to count that. The Blob, I have seen The Blob. That's the 50s version of it, because there were multiple takes of it. I've been to the diner that The Blob was featured, or that featured The Blob. I'm doing good, Robbie. How are you? Minifigure collector, how's it going? So, I would like to go back to that, because it would be cool to see the movie theater as well, in person. And I know that there's a video on YouTube from Cinemassacre where they go over, like, finding film locations and finding all the shots, like, in the same angles and directions and whatever. They did one based on The Blob, where they went to the diner, they went to the movie theater, there was actually a big town-worthy celebration for it. Any Goosebumps episodes or movies? Not that I can remember. I know that I grew up with Are You Afraid of the Dark and Goosebumps. They were actively running, but I don't remember if I saw any of them at that time. I'm not sure. It's something I would like to try. Even like the remakes of Are You Afraid of the Dark or Twilight Zone. I saw the pilot or the first episode or something of the newer one, and I'd like to see more of it. I just don't remember if it's like a Netflix thing or a certain channel. I just don't know if I have it or whatnot. But yeah, definitely haven't seen the Goosebumps movies. I know that for a fact. What else is in here? I mentioned Halloween. I mentioned Scream. The Thing. Well, I've heard of The Thing. Blair Witch Project. Oh yeah, that's one I should probably see because I'll totally sleep after that. I know the premise of it. I know the found footage filmography of it. Have I seen the new Are You Afraid of the Dark? I have not. I don't even know if it's out yet. But I'd imagine it probably is soon. Or now. I don't know. It's the right time for it. I don't know if these count as TV shows. Gravity Falls. Over the Garden Wall. I've seen only the first episode or so of Infinity Train, These, I guess, would be more of suspense. I mean, Gravity Falls, I wouldn't say as the whole show is horror. It just has little things in between, or just good moments of suspense and mystery throughout the whole show. Um, like a soft version of Stranger Things, which I need to desperately catch up on. Or X Files, as some people compared it to X Files. Twin Peaks. I have not seen Twin Peaks, but I know scenes of it, or like snapshot scenes of it. A while ago I was working on a Lego digital designer project vignette based on Twin Peaks, as you might have seen on Twitter, maybe on Instagram. But I didn't really know the context of it, really. I just know it from parodies, you know? I don't really count Treehouse of Horror because they're played for comedy more than horror, even if it's beat for beat. Have you seen the ads for it? It doesn't look as good as the original. I don't even know if I've seen the ads. I just know that it was coming back as a thing, but I don't think I've seen any footage of it. Haven't seen Rosemary's Baby. Haven't seen Cabin in the Woods. I know that one's been acclaimed. Paranormal Activity, haven't seen any of those, or any of the Purges. Haven't seen The Ring, haven't seen Get Out, haven't seen It Follows, haven't seen the Alien series. Silence of the Lambs, I think I've only seen a scene or two of it, so I'm not counting that. Babadook, I've only heard about that, mostly because there was that thing a while ago where it's like, when they put the Babadook onto Netflix, they put it in the wrong category, and then there was a meme based off of it. That's all I know. So I don't really count that one. Nosferatu, I know it's a vampire Dracula based movie, but I don't know much else beyond it. Or that scene from SpongeBob, which was really well done for a horror suspense buildup. I think that was done well for kids. How about the Kingsman movies? No, I don't think so. I'm gonna have to write all of these down, and I don't know how many I'm gonna get to this month. In and out of other things going on, but I'll definitely have to consider that. 28 Days Later, I've heard about that. The Fly, it's a classic one from what people have told me. Quiet Dead. Oh, his face just looked weird there for a sec. And I pulled up the Evil Dead 2. It seemed stretched. It was like, what is going on there? Insidious, I remember hearing about Insidious and somewhat being intrigued. Am I gonna see Joker? Probably. I probably won't see it right away, but it's something I'm thinking about. I haven't really seen a lot as far as the trailers or reviews or anything for it, so I don't know how much to go into it. I'm assuming it's probably gonna work on its own thing and not really put all the other Jokers together. The Omen, no. Children of the Corn, no. There's one that's just called Ring, not The Ring. American Werewolf in London? That counts? Because I've seen that, or I've definitely seen parts of it. I don't remember if I've seen the whole thing. It's a weird thing. I don't remember the entire thing. Nope, don't know those movies. I don't know those movies either. Candyman, nope. Sinister, nope. Dawn of the Dead, nope. Creepshow, nope. Audition, nope. Yeah, I think that's all that they give me. I haven't seen Nightmare Before Christmas. That one's also a classic. Everyone always debates, is that a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie? Is it both? If I get to that this time of year, I will try to watch it for both holidays and then figure out on my own. As someone who's going in blind and not knowing much about it, the only thing I know is for years and years I've seen it all over, Halloween stuff. Like, it's a pop culture icon, basically, for Jack Skellington. Hocus Pocus, no, I haven't seen that. Oh, I saw something, it's Scooby. Halloween Town, nope, not that I remember. Halloween itself, nope. I might have seen Casper, the live-action version, but not memorable to me. Go on down and buy some corn, or we will sacrifice your newborn. Is that a Children of the Corn quote? Another Christmas movie debate. Die Hard. Everybody debates Die Hard. I know that one. I haven't seen it though. Again, fresh off the boat, basically. I've been living under a rock for 24 years. Beetlejuice? I don't know. I haven't made that one traditional, but I do watch that from time to time. Beetlejuice is a fun one for Halloween-based movie. Or was Beetlejuice, what, 2 years ago? Something like that. It was a couple of years ago for Halloween. Okay. Let's see. Trick or Treat. Nope. Monster House. Nope. Coraline. I've heard a bunch of people talk about Coraline. Oh, it's from a YouTube video. Okay. Was it? I definitely, and even the same thing applies for horror games. But with horror games, I watch people who play them, like on a Let's Play, and I still get some of the frights, but I probably don't have as many frights as if I was playing them myself. I own a couple of them, but haven't really played them that much. I've been recommended, I think, last year, someone gave me 2 copies. They gave me Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2. I haven't played them yet, even though they recommended it and said these are really good for like a horror-based video game, kind of feel. Maybe that's the problem. They said that, and I'm like, nope. I can't really think of any others, though, for horror games. Five Nights at Freddy's, I've played through the first night, and that gave me, like, heart palpitation. Not literally, but it was still like, wow. I don't think I could play more of this. I am too paranoid. As it was, there was too much. I think I even did that on YouTube. I think I did a video showing that on YouTube. Like, even, like, immediately after the 6 o'clock thing, and my face just like, oh, no. Just, like, not having it. I haven't seen anything Addams Family related. There's an Ernest movie. Ernest Scared Stupid. Okay. Bunch of Halloweens. Nope. The Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy. Oh goody. That is a good one to bring up as a Halloween film. I haven't seen it. I just know that it's not great. And I have like a toy from Happy Meal about it. That's all I know. Let's see. Hotel Transylvania. Yep. That series apparently is good. But I haven't watched it. I don't know if Monsters vs. Aliens counts. It was also, I think, a DreamWorks movie. But I think that one's, again, an action thing more than a horror thing. Or even a sci-fi thing. Paranorman. Nope. Monster Squad. Nope. Let's see. How much more can I disappoint people tonight? Tower of Terror. It's a movie? I mean, I know the Disney ride, and I was scared the pants off me just from the trailers about it. Like, the one time I went to Disney World when I was in, I think, 4th grade or 3rd grade, I didn't want to go on that ride. My brother also didn't want to go on that ride. And we basically passed it up, like, together, which didn't happen that much on that trip. So, it really got to us. Let's see. Come on. Bring it up. Tower of Terror, come on. Oh, here it is. Tower of Terror from 1997. Supernatural horror. It is a Disney movie. They really do make a lot of movies based off the rides or vice versa. I know it happens with a bunch of them, but I don't know about all of them. I didn't imagine they would do it for this one. It is also Disney's first film based on one of its theme park attractions and only adapted for TV. The film, which has no connection with any incarnation of the Twilight Zone, was partly filmed at the actual attraction in Orlando, while the rest was in California. Neat. This is interesting. Frankenweenie, nope. Don't Look Under the Bed, nope. Something Wicked This Way comes, nope. Scared Shrekless? No. I don't know. I remember seeing parts um of Halloween 1. I don't think I saw the whole thing. I don't know why I can't. Maximum Overdrive, I've heard about that one. It's another Stephen King film. I know the soundtrack, but I don't know the movie. I just know the face of like one of them was like a big like tractor trailer truck thing, and it had a big like Green Goblin looking face on the front of it. That's as far as I know. I haven't watched it. Wallace and Gromit, The Case of the Were-Rabbit, nope. House of a Thousand Corpses, nope. Tales of Halloween, nope. Corpse Bride, nope. That's another Tim Burton one I've heard of, but haven't seen. What's that? Shed 17. I've never heard of that one. That's Thomas the Tank? Is this real? What about the new Mario Kart app? Why, is that a horror film? No, I actually have played some of that. I recorded some gameplay and uploaded it onto YouTube under Maniac for Toys and Games. It's alright. It's hard to compare it with the other Mario Kart games, but as an app game, it's fine. It doesn't really do anything special, but it's not terrible, at least from what I've played. I've played about an hour of it so far, and gotten through the first 2, almost 3 cups. I am disappointed that they don't have Luigi or Mario. The whole unlocking characters thing, I get it, but kind of dumb of how they started it out. Because people are going to have their favorites, and they want to choose more than just Toad or Toadette or Peach, to start out their games. It is kind of cheesy about the AI being in the game instead of playing with other players. I didn't know until somebody pointed it out to me on YouTube. I was like, wow. Mario Kart Wii is the best kart. It's a good one, but I have to do a video to really tier list them. Whether I actually do a tier list, I don't know. But I don't know. I'd say my favorites. Mario Kart Wii is definitely one of them. If I had to pick top 3, no particular order right now because I don't know which to properly rank above each other or put them on the same pedestal. Mario Kart Wii, Mario Kart 64, Mario Kart Double Dash. There you go. I know that Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe have a lot more improvements and better stuff. I know that DS is highly regarded. I never played the DS, so I can't speak about that one. And while I have played 8 and 8 Deluxe, I didn't see a lot that was changed between them to really call one over the other. And not much as far as selection. Maybe just more tracks, if I really wanted to go that way. Can A. Dogan, nice to see you here. Thank you for joining. I'm just going over horror films, TV shows, movies, and films and movies are the same thing. Horror films, TV shows, and video games that I could try to get into for this month of October at whatever pace I can. I will be doing Inktober. I know I'm already a day behind, but I'll do what I can to catch up with that, and then have that posted on social media. I'll try not to copy Kevin because I recognize his method, and I was like, that's really cool, but I don't want to copy that by accident. What about for Mario Kart? I prefer GameCube. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Double Dash, I would say, is my favorite. And Mario Kart 64, very close. And then Wii underneath that. Even though I said before I wasn't going to rank them. But I've been looking forward for such a long time. I want to do a video covering most of the Mario Kart games. I have Super Circuit. And I know that most people said it's not good. Or I've just heard it more popularized that it's not good. but I still wanted to try it out. I'm not going to get a DS, nor am I going to have a way to record with it to do that on video. Shed 17. I will take in the recommendations that you had before about Duncan Gets Spooked, and I will do a video on that sometime later in the month on Maniac for Bricks channel. Shed 17 is a 2015 web video. It is a parody on both the Wayove series and Thomas and Friends. Video extremely violent and features many dark elements and violent injuries or deaths for many characters. It is not suitable for kids. Paul Vids made an age-restricted video for that very reason. Huh. Fascinating. I don't know if that's something I should do as well. Like blind reactions to YouTube horror, you know? Like it's not a movie, it's not a TV show, but it's a video nonetheless. I know that there's a music video, I think it's Me 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 or something, that has a lot of unusual, surreal elements in it. I've watched it before. I try not to think about it so I can sleep. I don't know if that counts in the same vein. I'm trying to think what else there is. I don't know. I think we've covered most of it. Duncan Gets Spooked is definitely on my list as something that will appear on my channel. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Yeah, that does count. I have watched the series through and through. And now kind of desensitized to it. Salad Fingers, I think I watched the first 2 episodes or so. I don't remember watching the whole thing. But that one also counts similarly. BFAB, how's it going? I'm just talking about how much of a chicken I am and how few horror movies, games, and TV shows that I've seen. So feel free to contribute any recommendations, and I'll try to, like, right before the stream ends, I'll try to scroll through, type them all in, and then keep them in mind and try to share about them when I react to them, you know. Like, I'll watch them, and then I'll do the reaction, you know. I'm not going to count Welcome to Darkmoor, because, like I said, I didn't really count the YouTube ones, but I am going to watch that. I saw that go up earlier today, and I was out running errands, so it is something I do want to watch probably soon. Probably after this video, actually. So, there's that. I'm trying to think, what else? There's definitely a lot of monster movies that count for horror, or similar to horror. I can't think of any of them. Creature from the Black Lagoon, nope. I rarely watch horror films, I'm too much of a wimp. Yep, okay. At least we're in the same camp. We got a Jacob Neff, how's it going? Video games I really don't do that much. I haven't played any Resident Evil games, any Silent Hill games. I don't know what else is a bigger horror franchise. Luigi's Mansion is one of the shining examples I have played, if that gives you anything. Luigi's Mansion, I actually have been trying to make a yearly tradition to play that in October. I missed it last year because I was watching Brooks O'Brien play it instead of me playing it myself. So, I'll try to play that this year once again. That one I've beaten that before. At least once or twice before. Blue Brick YT, how's it going? I'm just going over horror themes and Halloween themes of things that I should try to experience this month. Some new things. Stranger Things, I'm technically behind on that. I've only watched the first season, but I would like to watch more of it. That being said, if a hot girl watches a horror film with me, well, yeah, of course. I remember in high school being told, you gotta take your date to a horror film. Because when they get scared, assuming they'll be more scared than you, I have doubts about that for myself. If they get scared, they need someone to hug and embrace. That's where you come in. That's literally what some adult told me when I was in high school. I was just like, that makes sense, but I gotta get to that point, you know? I don't watch horror either. Oh, okay. I see your wave. Sorry I haven't been able to wave back. Can't reach. Haunting of Hill's House, nope. American Horror Story, nope. Walking Dead, nope. Scream with it? with a TV show? I guess. Ash vs. Evil Dead is also listed in here. Slasher, okay. X-Files, Supernatural, Terror. Yeah, I've basically seen none of these. I'm just scrolling through the list and can't think of it. Castlevania, I heard about that one being a TV show, but I don't know if it was good. I've played the game, and I don't know if that counts as horror. The original NES Castlevania. I'm not good at it because it's an old NES game, and they're terrible. They're not terrible. They're terrifyingly hard. It's true, I watched a horror film with a hot female friend, and she was so clean, it made best day ever. Well, more than I've ever done, so props to you, BFAB. Way to go. Brilliant. I can't really think of music. I mean, I can think of a few tracks here and there. One of my favorites, especially when it's a story on its own, for a horror-themed musical track, would be a song, I believe it's called Devil's Train. It's great as its own story to it. It has some rap to it for how they discuss the lyrics. It's very catchy. And I found that one out actually through Gravity Falls. Not directly, but like a fan animation or something of it. And that one's a really good song. I still listen to that. Earlier today, when I did the video about like, oh, funny to meet you by the cemetery and the railroad tracks. That was true. It was like on one side of the road was a railroad tracks that it kind of like cuts through, and on another side nearby was the cemetery. So I was like, well, it'd be great if I could get both of these in the same shot, but I couldn't. Just distant enough. So, but yeah, when I was there by the railroad tracks, I was thinking about that song. I was like, oh, I don't even know if a train runs through here, and then they didn't when I went. But I heard a train horn in the distance. Is it a ghost train? I don't know. I am still working on a couple of not horror, Halloween themed videos as we speak for this month. I don't plan on more than 4 a week, as I said in the video, but I don't think it's going to be more than like 2 or 3 a week, to be honest, because there's a lot I'm doing with school right now. It's getting close to midterms, so I want to be sure I do well for that. If I'm able to binge in advance, that would be great, but I also like my sleep, and right now it's another half hour, so I like the jacket at the top. It is. It actually is. It's like I need a fan something on. I went to, I think, a Spirit Halloween, and they didn't have it just as a jacket. They had the whole thing. So I'm like, well, okay, I'll make this fun. Use it for a couple of videos. I don't know if I'll return it, or if I'll even use the whole suit. But yeah, thank you. I wanted to get it last year, but then it was just immediately sold out. And that's not going to work. This is not my Halloween costume, by the way. I made a joke about that earlier with the t-shirt underneath it. We've got 11 C's 0217 in 2017. There we go. Nice to see you here as well. So I'm gonna go back through the list, and I'm gonna write down everyone's recommendations for horror, Halloween, movies, TV shows, things like that. So if you have anything else you want to say in here, better say it now. Because I'm gonna start wrapping things up. I don't think I'm gonna get to any movie tonight, and I don't want to overload myself with it. At minimum, I'm gonna watch Welcome to Darkmoor tonight. I don't know if I'm gonna do a reaction or anything to it. Like while watching it. If I do anything, it would be right after watching it, probably, and just giving it high praise and whatnot. Annoying Noises Productions, I already enjoy the Brick films. So, I'm looking forward to how they're going to handle horror. I don't even think horror Brick films exist or are a big thing. Here's another one I'm also curious about, since we were talking about other monsters and animals and things like that. Jurassic Park. Does any of those count? Because I feel like they're action movies, but they, again, feel like horror. I've only seen the first Jurassic Park and the first Jurassic World. And the first Jurassic Park definitely had a presentation that reminded me of what I think of a horror film. You know, the suspense leading up to it, the destruction of the thing. You know, I don't know. I don't know how much that counts in comparison. You know, there has to be chase. There has to be, you know, some kind of escape with it. So, pardonnez-moi while I bring this forward. It looks great, bringing up Halloween style stuff. I need to head to the pick brick wall and pick up those Halloween pieces. I don't think they're considered horror. Okay, that's good. It's good to think about. But yeah, hopefully they have those pieces at your pick a brick wall. And if you do need to find them, let me know. I didn't. I didn't really pick up any of them. I just kind of like laid them all out. They allowed me to in the store, just to go through it. I'd say Jurassic series is thriller. Okay, I guess thriller is a different mindset compared to horror. That makes some sense. All right, I'm gonna scroll all the way to the top and find some Halloween. Okay, it'll be a help of Halloween. Come on. For crying out loud. And I'm not crying out loud. Why isn't it typing? Frick. Sorry, but... Without typed. Doesn't mean I'm going to do them in any particular order. I actually have a couple that aren't recommended from this live stream that I want to get to. I think I mentioned some of them earlier. So you'll probably see that when it comes up. I kind of want to see Nosferatu, though, because of the SpongeBob reference, you know? And it's like, well, I just want to see where this scene came from, you know? I do feel more obligated to see Friday the 13th, having gone to the camp of it. And it's not like a visit. I mean, like, I went there as a Boy Scout camp. It is traditionally a Boy Scout camp. I'll catch up with the comments in just a moment. Just need to go through the recommendations. Okay, yeah, that's working. Halloween recommendations. Just have a category for Brick Blaze. Trick or Treat. I know we talked about the Saw franchise before, which is why I expected that as soon as he came into the room. Come on. Scroll. Freddy versus Jason. I just want to give credit where credit is due. The Ring. Let's see. Pet Cemetery. That's... I know the Ramones song that it's based on. Or the song that the Ramones based the song is based on the movie. That's what I'm trying to say. Saw 1. What else we got in here? Scream. Come on. I don't think Rocky Horror Picture Show counts. Because again, it's played up as a musical and a comedy. So it has, you know, the atmosphere of it, but it doesn't have the same entertainment as it. You know. Oh. Lego 17 Final Destination. Right. Forgot that. It Chapter 2. It was Brick Blaze month. It's like he recommended so many in here. Evil Dead. Cloverfield. Okay, this jacket's gotta go soon. There was a when Brick Blaze mentioned Killer Clowns from Outer Space, it reminded me there's like a Killer Tomato movie or something. I don't know if it's even made by the same people, but the same kind of like wackiness, I guess. Um, I don't know. What we got there? Monster House. Let's see. There's actually one I have on my list, which I want to do a little sooner. Grinch's Halloween. Because the way that they had, like, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, they made a Halloween special with the Grinch. I'm curious how that's going to turn out. Because I'm like, how? What? Why? Why would that? Why? Probably because of the success of the first one, though. So you got that. Goosebumps films and TV show. Oh, Tree of War had another one in here I forgot about. Twin Peaks. I wish I was doing this all along. A lot of catch up to do. Let's see. I think I've seen a few creepypastas. I don't know if they count. Um, some of them are videos, some of them are just to read. So I don't know if that really works the same way. There's one campy horror movie I've heard about before, and I don't know if there's others like it, but a part of me actually kind of wants to see it. It's called Chopping Mall. It is a movie where um, a bunch of teenagers are stuck inside of a mall for a night, and there are security droids or robots that monitor the mall, but are basically set to lethal. So they have to keep escaping them. I guess I don't know. It sounds interesting, and I'm like, okay, this might not. I don't know how much is gonna count as horror, but just a ridiculous premise. And I would love to see more shopping mall related movies in general, like taking place in them or mainly using them. Just because I like the atmosphere of a shopping mall, and I want to take my experience. That's why. It's scared. It's scarred me straight. Let's see. Don't think I'm scared. Yeah. Great movie recommendation: 50 Shades of Grey. Oh, BFAB. You know, I feel like that should be. I'm gonna write that one down because there should be a that's its own kind of scare, the cringe kind of scare. Banana Splits, I've heard about because that's like it was an old TV show, and then they made a horror thing, kind of like FNAF, right, or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I'll throw that one down. Banana Splits. Well, there's quite a list here. I should write down my stuff. My personal watches. I'll do that after the video. I think I mentioned a bunch of them in here already. Yeah. Well, that's something to consider. And again, there's no guarantee I'm going to watch all of these in all this month. I don't know how many are going to lean into November, but I'm just going to say this at least gives me some ideas. I did write down Shed 17, and yes, that's where I heard about it from Rebel Taxi. That's where I heard about Banana Splits. Which I just thought, that's a ridiculous title for a movie. But then he gave the context of it. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, fine. I guess I'll look into that. But yeah. Oh, it is late. And Scooby just keeps like going in and out of sleep. Um, I think I think you recommended Duncan Gets Spooked, right? Because you and a couple other people recommended it for my video, if I remember correctly. Which I will definitely. That one at least is like that's gonna be on there. That one I can do once again. Blind reaction. Have a little thing in the corner to show the episode, and see how that goes. There's another one I think some people talked about, but I'm gonna have to look back in the comments to find it. And I can definitely think of shows that aren't horror themed but have a unpleasant episode or something based around Halloween. I mentioned to death OKKO Let's Be Heroes. I can think of an example of each one. I don't remember the name of the episode for the second one, though. I believe the Halloween themed one they came out with. Yes, it was called Monster Party. And that one's a lot of fun. If you remember Scooby Doo, if you remember the Ghoul School, that's actually a big part of the episode. Like they have the original voice actors and their characters in it, which is fun. Which is something else. I didn't really consider Scooby Doo anywhere in this as far as Halloween or spooky or whatever, because it feels so any time of the year. I don't know if it counts the same way. I feel like maybe it should, because I know a lot of people have been talking this year and last year about Scooby Doo 2, Monsters Unleashed. I've watched it. I've watched the live action 1 and 2, but I haven't seen it in a long time, so I don't know. Haunted Henry. Okay, the Alec Baldwin narration is better for those episodes. Gotcha. Alec Baldwin. There we go. I'm trying to remember the name of this episode. I remember the premise clearly. If that's a still from it. Oh, that's what it's called. We Got Hacked. Because that one to me definitely has like a horror theme to it, and was definitely a like terrifying episode for me to watch like at age 24. I'm just like, I don't know. No. Mostly because of like they have it like a virus or something, and it's like a physical being, and it's like a low poly but striking color and like 3D animation. That's another thing. When TV shows mix media, there's one guy, I think it's David Lynch. I don't know if it's a mixed media thing, but I know that he's had several things, movies, TV shows, that people have considered terrifying, like legitimately horrifying. I don't know them personally, but I know I've heard of them. I know that they exist. I don't know if there's any they really go to, you know, any that they really recommend or more well known. I don't know about that. This one episode of Batman the Animated Series that freaked me out. I forgot the name of it. The animated series I wanted to binge a while ago, and I used to have episode reviews of it. But the problem was I fell behind at some point. I rented too many of the DVDs from the library and didn't get to watch as many as I thought I would. And I had to return all those DVDs, and I never thought to bring them back. I never thought to rent them out again, even though I should. I really enjoyed the show when it was out, like when I was watching it. So eventually I'll get back to that. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have yourselves a wonderful night. I'm gonna go watch Darkmoor. So we'll see how that turns out. Have a good one, and you can keep leaving recommendations all month long. You know, all the socials.